Hello everybody and welcome to another StarCraft 2 cast by Imperator Z. And this is another game sent in by the fans. This time it was sent in by Maulvee, apparently member of the chain of relations between Commander XK and, well, the other guys. And I really only remember that guy's name because I've just been casting 2 of his games. And the 4v4 has left me kind of breathless, so I'm pretty grateful that I'm able to cast another 1 versus 1. We have SuperNova versus Maulvee, Terran versus Terran. Apparently some people's most favorite matchups, others people's most hated because of the tank versus tank thing. And we have them spawning close by air. Close by ground would actually be this, which is still kind of surprising to me because it doesn't seem that close, but apparently this is close by ground. And I don't know if you can spawn close by ground on the Blizzard maps, because apparently it's very bad for rush distancing. But never mind that. We have our friend Maulvee ahead in SCV production because SuperNova has cut SCVs to build the refinery very early. And I don't know why you would ever do that. Maybe you would do that just because you suck, but who knows, there might be other reasons. Maulvee, meanwhile, doing his 12 racks as he should be, building SCVs, building lots and lots of SCVs, building more SCVs. Man, this is just an SCV producing machine. There you go, my friend, there you go, you just save yourself. Still, that was 10-20 seconds that you haven't built an SCV, and that's gonna put you behind more than you think, believe me. Because now you have 14-15 supply, and it seems like you could right now build the orbital command. 14 supply and the 1 marine. It seems like you should be able to build the orbital command at this point, but you can't. You should have 1 more SCV at this point. So you've been slacking and you're behind that 1 SCV, and that's gonna cost you. That's 50 to 100 resources you just lost, in quotation marks, though you will not have them in the future, so technically you did actually lose them, it just doesn't feel like it. It's those tiny things. And now you have the mules coming down, that's good, more SCVs. Don't keep not making SCVs, because again, that's gonna hurt you. This should be constantly producing, and it doesn't matter what, so if it's producing a tech lab or something, that's okay. Still, it should be constantly making something. We see here our SuperNova friend has went straight for the tech lab, researching concussive shells. I guess they're gonna be useful against tanks. I haven't even thought about that. They're probably gonna be good against tanks. We have another barracks and a factory coming up, which I could actually see in the unit tab instead of in the production tab instead of clicking on it, but never mind that. Spending tab. Maulvee has spent more on economy. You always want to be the one to have spent more on economy. But still, don't slack, don't get behind. You are ahead in SCV count, and you want to stay that way. You want to stay ahead. Where does the extra stuff come from? Like the what counts for Terran economy in the tab? I wonder. Maybe it's the 2 refineries that actually, yeah. What is this? Really? 2 SCVs, a Marauder and a Marine? That's just terrible. And it's even more terrible if you can't hold it. Come on. This is easy. You should have had more Marines anyway, because your buildings need to be constantly producing. You need to hotkey these, my friend. You need to hotkey the barracks. And you need to hotkey the factory as well. Because otherwise you're gonna forget about them even more. And you need to constantly switch between your hotkeys. You need to switch between army and units. That's extremely important. And even though this is happening, don't forget building your SCVs, don't forget your mule drops. Don't forget building more units. You were supply blocked. I guess I don't even have to teach you this lesson because you saw it in the game. You don't want to be supply blocked. It's sad because you have all these unit producing structures, and you can't make anything. It just kills you inside, and so your money starts piling up, and you start building many supply depots at once, and it just feels terrible. You could so easily have held this off if only you haven't been supply blocked, and it just feels like crap, and you don't want to play the game anymore, do you? Still, don't forget your mule drops. You want to be muling. You don't want this happening. By now, you might have wanted to start building your own second command center. Yeah, 8 minutes is maybe about the time you want to expand. And technically SuperNova did what he should have. While his macro was crap, and his micro, I don't know about micro if it even exists at this point. His micro was micro. But yeah, he attacked, and in the meanwhile he expanded. He didn't do it correctly, he didn't keep up on his SCV production, which is why Maulvee is still ahead, even though he was supply blocked at pretty much the worst possible point. But that's what you should be doing. You should attack your opponent and at the same time expand. It sounds very simple. It's not simple to do if you actually try doing it. As I said, these should be constantly producing, and they are not, even though you have so much money, Maulvee. You should be constantly producing. And you see, your supply count, it's getting dangerously close again. You have to build more supply depots. Or even actually in second base, because Terran bases, they give you a ridiculous amount of supply. They give you 4 supply, I think. That's very, very good. 4 supply is a lot. This bunker should be down here somewhere. This is not a good position for a bunker. It's sort of forward but not aggressive bunker. It's not gonna hold off anything. Especially since there's tanks. Terrans have tanks, did you know? Tanks are a good unit. Tanks are tanky. Tanks, tank. Tank, 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 tank. For both players, SCV production has completely stopped. On one base you want 30 SCVs, and you don't care if there's more. You want more. Now the command center is coming up. He probably got scared because he saw this one. Don't ever do this on reaction. At least your first expansion you should plan without considering what your opponent's gonna do. And unless he's cheesing you, you should pull through. You should make that expansion. You need more supply depots. You've noticed again, too late. You're at 43. That's gonna cost you. Army size-wise, the players are about equal. So it looks like sort of a Silver League game where both players sort of know what they should be doing, but they think that they can do something like skip SCV production and still actually be in the game. SuperNova has, even though Maulvee had been ahead in SCV production for quite a while, he's now pulled ahead. Though again, he's forgetting it. He's forgetting to produce SCVs, and again, he's not using the advantage as he should be. At this point in the game, both players could have 60 SCVs and wouldn't have to worry about producing SCVs again for pretty much the rest of the game. They might want to go 70 or maybe 80, but you can win a game on 60 SCVs, especially since there's also mules. Are both players using the mules? They sort of are. But that was a scan, so I guess SuperNova hasn't been using his mules as he should have. Yeah, and this just killed him because SuperNova, he's been making the same mistakes. He got supply blocked, he didn't have enough supply, and he didn't constantly produce out of his buildings, even though his money was so high. So you don't want this to happen. You don't want to have this money in the bank. And I mean, look at the army sizes. If this money, if these 1,800 minerals were in the army, Maulvee wouldn't stand a chance. Not a chance in heck. So with this sort of cool effect here, what? Yeah, with this little graphics glitch, if you even want to go as far as calling it that, I'm gonna leave you and hope you enjoyed this cast. If you liked it, it would be awesome if you could thumbs it up and subscribe to my channel, because that would help me a lot, especially my ego, because my ego depends on it. So save my ego, folks. Imperator Z, signing out.